Alright, this is a bit of a self-archive video because I do this so infrequently that by the time I need to do it again, I've forgotten, and I end up spending hours online trying to figure out how to do it again. So I'm just going to make a video of me doing it now that I know how, so the next time I can just watch this and get going. So here we go. First, grab your audio file, drop it into your actual project. Right-click in your project, New, Solid. I'm just going to leave mine 1080p. Color does not matter. Gives you this ugly background. Go to Generate. Audio Spectrum. Drop it on there. And then on Audio Layer on your effect, set it to the song you just added. And just like that, you're basically done. Now you can just add all your effects or change your effects, like start frequency, end frequency. I usually like to set my bands at 250, my height at 3000, my audio duration at 150. Offset, I leave alone. Thickness at 5. Softness at 25. Color, we can make that whatever we want. We'll just do this really quick. Okie dokie. And let me skip ahead a little bit. That way things get crazy. And the hue thing, you can rotate this a bunch and get a whole bunch of crazy colors. I'll just leave that back though, because it's a little too intense. I'll get like, one's good, and then just do a 90-degree extra. These three settings here, just kind of mess with them, turn them on, off, see if they make a difference for you. I usually end up having them all on because, I don't know. Display options, digital, analog, and dots. I usually leave it at digital. And of course your sides, A, B, or both, which is top or bottom. Average duration is really boring. I don't like doing that. Composite on original is going to give you the original background. Don't want that, just leave that off. And that's pretty much it for the actual audio waveform. Basically done. But if you want to make it a little more interesting than just a line, let's go to effects again. Type in POL. It's going to give you this. We're going to go for a circle. So drop that on the thing again. Change this setting to polar. And then set it all the way to 100%. And it's going to give you a mostly a circle. It doesn't quite connect because if I undo that back to 0, you'll notice how it doesn't quite reach the edge of the video. It's because of that. All right, and now that we have a mostly a circle, if you want it to be a full circle, go to start point, set that to 0. And then because it's the resolution of the video, you're going to want to set that to what that was. And I did 1080p, so that's 1920. And that gives me a full circle. And now I have a whole circle. Audio spectrum. And if I want it to be on the outside, let me set the sides to B. That way it's on the outside. And yeah. One last thing, if you want to do something else, I'm going to delete the polar thing so it's back to a line. Oh, I made it all the way in the end again because I left it. Go to Pen Tool. Make sure you have your layer selected. Set it to just do some wacky stuff. I don't know, just go nuts. Just make something crazy as an example. Now, on your path, you can just set the path you just made. Boom. Although, because I made it so big, the bands isn't quite enough, so I'm going to jump that all the way to like 500. Yeah, it's a little better. But as you go along, now it follows that. I could also set it to both sides, so it's even crazier. But you can do that with anything. You can also input stuff and trace it with the pen tool or get a vector that you can use as well. But that's basically it now. Yeah, that's basically everything. And so, done. Now I'm just going to undo all that because that's a ugly, hideous mess. Go back to where the polar was, right there. Done. So now we're going to put it into Premiere Pro if that's what you want to do. You could also probably just finish it out like this if that's all you wanted, but I want to do a little more editing. So save as. Name it something. I'll just leave it untitled project. Does not matter what it's called. Now we go into Premiere Pro. All right, now that we're in Premiere Pro, you're going to grab your weeaboo background, drop it into your project, drop it into the timeline, and then go up to File, Adobe Dynamic Link, Import After Effects Composition. That will give you this god-awful layout, but since I've done it before, it's already where it needs to be. Select your project file, select your clip, click OK. And that gives you your file. And it gives it the transparent background, which is what you wanted. So I'm going to zoom out here, make it the length of the actual thing, zoom back in. Oh, I forgot something, which is actually a good note, because whatever I edit in After Effects will show up here. So something I forgot to add is a stroke to the outside of it. which is fine. You don't have to add that, but it's something I would like to add. So now I'm going to go back into After Effects. It's now linked dynamically, so anything I do in here will affect the project in there. So I'm going to grab my layer, right-click, Stylize Layers, Stroke. I'm going to go down to the stroke bit here. Outline to be black, that way it's the most visible. Thickness, I'll leave alone at 3, and opacity, 100. And position, I want it to be on the outside. You can also have it be on the inside, but it looks hideous. Centered as well, why don't we leave it on outside. And now if I go back to the actual project, you see how it updated right there? It updated. So now I have the full thing. And that's literally the whole thing. You're done.